Isn't that one? These teams have all grinded to the top, and they have made a name for themselves across multiple circuits: the summer, the autumn, the winter. And it is now that with these playoffs begin, they'll have a chance to go up against each other and claim that title of the best in Apex Legends. Be so excited to be here with you as we head over into a really nice early drop with Sentinels, who have to be one of the teams that you, as well as many players, have their eye on.
What I want to go ahead and point out right now is looking at the team, all the team comps. There's quite a few variations. We see Raids, we see some Octanes, and we also see Valkyries, not surprisingly. But what I want to say is the one thing that every single team had was a Gibby. And with all that utility with his bubble taking an infinite amount of damage for 12 seconds, that really shows how powerful Gibby is. Even after the nerf, he's still the most picked legend in just this map right now.
Just some beautiful overviews here. Looking at Harvester, as these teams all now, because of the way the pace of this match is going to be, we're going to have time to talk about the meta, the weapons, and of course what these teams are looking to do. But so much of this early game is foundational to your success and finding out where you need to go, the path you'll have to traverse to get there. And more importantly, like you mentioned as well, the legends you'll be using and what those skills can allow you to do. I always love going to trials early, and that's why Dudes Night Out, not only to get some good loot, they get a little warm-up. Which I feel like in a tournament where there are a lot of nerves potentially flowing through you, your heart racing a little fast, it's nice to just get some shots on some opponents who aren't really going to hit back. Oh, I take that back. Actually, they will hit back, just not too hard.
Oh, and this, right now we can honestly just watch this great rotation showing that he will outstrafe any dog inside of the into the Bloodhound right here. So really showcasing that power right there. But I also wanted to say that Skyhook was, two teams were in Skyhook, which was Fade and as well as CLG. So I'm very curious to see if there's going to be some early fighting as we swap over to Absolute Monarchy and Tunnels.
Fat Fruit Ninja, Sir Lifty, Sleepy Panda, starting off pretty decently with a purple, a blue, and a white. And as these rotations still making it in with the Crypto Drone, understanding they've got to move central. And they're going through what could be a choke, but this early, their rotation seems to be on point. They won't have to go through too much to get there.
It's also interesting because normally a lot of teams go with the Wraith, Gibby, Bloodhound, but they opted to choose Crypto, which really, it's honestly one of my favorite characters who's very well at picking next zones and setting their team up, and also utilizing that EMP to really help out a lot and bring a little bit more utility than the Bloodhound ult with the EMP as well. But I was going to go ahead and swap over to Team XD, who looks like they're about to get some poking done. As you see, Money already used his Gibby bubble, so we're really going to see exactly where this team's going to be swapping. They even are using a Valkyrie as well, so Caustic, Crypto, Gibby is really going to showcase how strong they are up close, especially with using the Caustic gas trap and everything. So I'm very interested to see what's going on in this fight. What about you, Randy?
Seems to be no 50-50s too, which is a great point that Tom, our analyst, as he's watching this game, noticed. We often see these early skirmishes, but it's been pretty light. And I think that, again, showcases the timidity with which these players are playing. This is a $2.58 million tournament, $265,000 for the winner. It's a marathon, but the one thing you don't want to do when you start a marathon is trip at the beginning. And so these teams, I think, are just taking a little bit of time to figure it out as we head over to Train Yard and see a couple of homes, a couple of skyward homes, havens, so to speak, being set up as well. A decent spot, which will give them some rotation capabilities, looking at where this circle is ending up.
Yeah. Right now we have about approximately 3 teams that count down, and what we're seeing right now, because once again, like you said, there is quite a bit of money on the line. They all are playing for positioning right now, not really trying to get into too much fights. Well, yes, KP is very nice. They know there's 2-3 teams possibly lurking and watching for someone to make a wrong move or for them to come in and collapse on any team fighting.
I totally agree with you. I think that's the thing where patience sometimes wins in these early fights. And we saw it in Europe yesterday where there was almost, it felt like 18 teams in that fourth circle. And you just say, you know, there has to be something human going on there, not just Apex Legends, because there's so much confidence throughout all of these players. As we see Metro to go, taking a little poke, a little Volt in hand though, gets the heirloom out, slide jumps to heal it back up. But the point is, they do know the quality of competition will never be greater than what they're doing now. This is the best of the best in Apex, so you do have to play it a little more cautiously because you can get punished that much more.
Yeah, if we look right outside of Lava Fissure, it looked like there was a really good spot to be in this zone and the next zone. So I'm hoping they see that they'll be able to make it into the next one. As we go ahead and swap to TSM, who is right outside of the second zone once it switches to the next one with the Gibby, Octane, and Bloodhound, which doesn't really surprise me because Octane does bring quite a bit of utility. He brings that commitment to the team, if that makes sense, where you have your Wraith where you can use your portal, you can portal in, portal back out, you know, if something's too hot. While with Octane, once you're in there, you're committed in there. You're quite literally part of the Yeet meta.
And we'll see if they can stay on their feet with the Yeet meta. I have a little bit of an alternative opinion on Octane. I feel like that nerf hurts quite a bit, and it's going to make every decision that Hal goes throughout his game. And of course, Hal, when I say the name, we almost always know who I'm referring to. TSM, one of the most, the most accomplished team as far as tournament wins in Apex Legends history, but also some of the most popular players and streamers repping that badge as well. Definitely the top competitor, I think most teams would say, in this lobby, especially in Group A. But it does give you less wiggle room yet again to make mistakes. However, I've seen them work magic with the jump pads and several jump pads as well on rotation, so I don't feel like they'll be too cornered if things do get tough.
One thing, while the nerf, yes, did hurt Octane by nerfing it down, I still feel like he brings that utility, and especially with his butt ult coming up every 60 seconds, very similar to when Wraith had the 5% bonus damage, low profile, so it still brings that kind of utility. So, and people were using Wraith even during that time of the nerf when she had the low profile, so I still think that Octane will still be very strong as TSM is going ahead, commit, and had used ult previous, but doesn't look like he's going to get as much utility or as much value out of it as he had planned. But nonetheless, they're still poking and still holding down. And overall, I'm really hoping to see as they get some really nice shots with the Spitfire as he shoots from range, purple barrel, so he is not having any recoil whatsoever as SyncD's takes a little bit of poke.
And this is some veteran Apex players as well. Synced, we talked about him from the LCQ, made it in. An incredible player who's been playing with Wicked and Shroud since, I feel like, Season 1, Day 1, when the Wingman had, what, about 37 bullets in the magazine? I don't know, something like that compared to what it is now. And they will be claiming their spot if they can make it, going to a toe-to-toe poke battle with TSM and coming out alive. Not many teams get to say they can do that, but they certainly have. Not a bad start for them as we head over to ESA Black, still poking away, still in that early part of the game. But as you could see, in your top left-hand corner, teams starting to make a move towards that area of Lava Fissure, Train Yard, Countdown, staging. They realize with these recon characters that you do have the circle moving that direction, and it's a matter of kind of securing your spot, almost territorially, saying, don't come here, this is our spot, we want to rotate from here, and if you do, there's going to be trouble.
What I also want to point out is that there are 5 teams that did pick Valkyrie, so I'm expecting a couple of those teams that may not be as higher up that want to play a little bit safer to be outside the zone. It really makes the zone play or playing outside a ring a little bit better, because before, if you were caught outside rotating in, you would just take the L and hold firmly. But now with the introduction of Valkyrie, it really gives you a chance to not only shift and get possibly a better position, especially with their passive being able, while in air, highlighting, showing where other enemies are to pick where you are. While it is, yes, it is a big commitment to do, but it is a better chance than dying outside of zone. Round 1, that is still quite a bit of damage you will be taking while trying to fight and fight your way in.
Part in this, what part will it be? Still need to find that one out as Group A versus B opens up the day. In our incredible week of Apex Legends, you'll see A and C and A and D go at it as well. And we've also got C and D on an alternate stream.
Oh, as we see Hal go down right now, because Drop got a very nice shot. Zero Plus got a very nice shot on with the R301, and he went down. That's a very horrific spot to go down in currently. With so many teams on the high ground right above him, it's shooting fish in a barrel.
See if they can make it work and bring home some dinner, because this is TSM we're talking about. It's not going to be the easiest push, even if they are 2v3, and I believe at that distance they should be able to pick them back up pretty well, even though that poke battle is still wasting resources, and that's just been the way they've done it. But both teams wanted to get through Harvester, and so they've done that now. The hard part seems to be over, especially for TSM. Dude's night out, though. They're seeing a defensive bombardment go down as well, and getting Bloodhound scan. Rolders, AV's duplex. looking with the charge rifle. One of the most, I think, comfortable weapons at a mid to long range, just for the fact that no one really wants to run up over long distances against a charge rifle, B.
The charge rifle is easily one of my favorite snipers. You have a hit scan weapon. You don't have to take an account for any delay. It just boom, you can hit your. If you can hit your shots, the charge rifle is your best friend, and it's great for poke, great for Gibby and Watson as well with her new buff of being able to regen shields as well. As we see Faye take a very meaty grenade and Kanaka almost going down and dying right there. Almost losing your Gibby would have been a horrific thing, especially if Gibby with bubble as well. Using a lot of resources because everyone in this lobby, there are 20 teams in this game, and every single team has a Gibby to let you know how important it is to keep your Gibby alive. And for them to almost lose their Gibby that way is a very, very rough spot to be in.
Hitting some long shots is Fade. As we still, as you mentioned, 20 teams, but surprisingly, still Zone 2. All 20 teams to talk about. No one's gone down. Maybe a few players, but no full squad left. Seems like this could be the beginning as Moni goes down, and that is a problem there. Not for Kanaka's Pets, though. They are looking on their backside, making sure no approaches. And that charge rifle, oh, it's starting to do damage. One crack. Almost got the second. Kanaka's Pets dishing some serious damage here. But yet again, no fatalities team-wise. Everyone's still up, albeit I don't think that's going to last much longer.
One thing I will say is that Kanaka Pets is in a very good spot because they have a team that is right outside in zone or right beside zone. They don't have anywhere to rotate, so if they have any grenades, they can easily pressure that out. And they're also in a very good spot for next rotate as well to hold down the rocks and make sure they are good. CLG is right there in that corner, but I doubt they'll be able to push out as we go ahead and switch over to Ranked is Harder, who is getting some very good shots. And Sync D's is going ahead and confirm a kill on Snipe Down. My goodness. Did you see that coming on TSM?
That's TSM Snipe Down. That is not what you want to see. We knew this Ranked is Harder poke had been going in, but it went to the chagrin of TSM, the #1 ranked ALGS squad, out first. Very much like Gambit in Europe, out first as well. Seems to be the way these first games go.
One thing I do want to say is, while yes, you may be out first easily, as we can go ahead and switch over to Hunter, he's going to go ahead and go down and get shot, and they will be eliminated. They already were down a teammate, and they just got cleaned up after taking lots of damage from zone. So that's 2 teams now eliminated. As we watch a Valkyrie team boost off, as we see his Watson taking the, I believe has gotten stuck under the map, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, right now, stuck under a defensive dome shield, excuse me, is
the
only place to stay alive. And you can see it. There's a lot of damage going on. Another team going down. That's KNG, bottom 20. And you can see they're just rolling. Teams starting to fall like flies right now.
Ranked is Harder is really picking really good times to get these fights because I don't know if you saw, they got Sync D's got the kill on Gibby when he was rezzing after some pokes. So overall, they're really showcasing what it means to be good at Apex. It's not all about just kills. It's about picking and choosing when your next fight is in your rotation. As we watch Drop get almost killed just now, man, they are really, really pushing the boundaries, playing Gibby and him going all the way down to 1 health, showing that even if you do have Fortify, you are not safe from being put down into the dirt.
You can tell things are just getting harder, not just for Ranked is Harder, but for everyone. Our picture-in-picture down below to your right, everyone, Synced is alive. They won that battle with TSM, but what will it mean? If you can't get to the next zone, it's almost for naught. But they do have the KP going into game 2. Will mean a lot for them if they can just get to this next part of the circle, but that's no guarantee. Bullets firing away. They're going to try to use the jump pad. This is where Octane comes in. Can they make it to the crevice? They can, and it's going to be a Phoenix kit, but 0 Plus doesn't have the benefit of that, and now Synced, he's still under fire. He's going to try to hide in a corner, stay out of line of sight, but grenades say, hello, my friend, but not enough. 1 health to his name, and the Phoenix kit might just get off, but hold on. It looks like we're seeing a big fight with Hierarchy and Pow Pow. Hierarchy and hundreds. Lazarus come out on top of that, and again, more teams fall as that zone took 6 of our squads out of the competition.
I just want to go ahead and highlight there, you doubted my Octane calls, but I'm telling you right now, no other character would have survived that but Octane himself. So, with that being
well,
said,
his team kind of died, though, so I mean, you know, it still might not have gone their way.
We take off at technicalities, okay?
Yeah, right. Look cool, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So, coming in with the 8, I love it.
As ESA
and he's found his way.
as ESA Black is showcasing the strength of the Evo, which I feel after the latest buff of having a faster fire rate, really showcasing that it is one of the better shotguns of all 3 of them that are out currently.
And you can see Prodigy Aces, Joey Blackout, Missile Swarm coming through from the Valkyrie and Panders. Look at this. This is what Valkyrie can do. Get an eye on Panders. He's got that high ground there. And although Joey Blackout TV, he's got the bow, Deadeye's tempo as well, so if he hits those shots and keeps hitting them, he's going to fire and fire faster and faster. But Pander's just such a hard spot to be. And this dome shield right here, I don't know, it's a little dangerous because it almost is asking Panders to push at that point. They know they're low. Prodigy Aces is low as well.
Having Gibby having to use your fight to save a teammate is a very rough spot to be in, especially with with one of your teammates kind of come back and heal. That's one gun and a shield that you will not have. You definitely want, as a Gibby main, I definitely respected being able to save your teammate by not seeing someone on the high ground from being down, but it's still a very rough spot. And as they're going to catch Valkyrie out of position, as Prodigy Aces is right in the middle of the team, it gets absolutely obliterated. And zone's closing. They're going to have to do something. This is round 3, so this zone is going to hurt a lot as well. As they go ahead and put one in the dirt, Pandas goes down.
Looking for KP, that's it. It's really just trying to survive. It's not going to make it, unfortunately. That was not the way you wanted it to go. On the other side, though, we can't even stop for the action, despite Joey Blackout not making it out. CLG, Madness is down. That might be CLG out of there as well. Sentinels, though, with a Kraber in hand. Retzi could do some damage here, especially with a train yard circle looking to pull. High ground is going to be so important, and Lazarus still fighting off with the Peacekeeper. It's going to be one shot for Hundreds. He looks to get the slide jump as well. Shields could be providing cover for both players here. Oh, and there he is. He finds him. PK to the dome. And that's it. It's NRG. Sweet out of the fight. Hundreds cleans him up.
I think we're seeing a lot of teams, top teams are going down super early in this game. And that is one thing, and I could believe that no one saw coming. While this is Apex, this is a battle royale, but one thing is, it is anyone's game. No matter how great you are of a team, you can still come in last place in the game or come in a lower positioning.
So true, and that must be something already cleared out. You can see Slurpee solo on health, but they felt comfortable getting there. These houses right here, these are, oh boy, I can only think of trying to get a home in the current housing market right now. They're going to have to fend off all the pre-qualified buyers, all the cash buyers as well. Everybody wants those high ground lofts, but only 2 teams can have them. Tech, and you can see Euban force what? Presley holding the others. Everyone fighting from low ground or across the way. Take a look at this, B. Who has the advantage here in your eyes? Despite the high ground, we already know that, but from these approaching teams.
I would say Lazarus actually is in a pretty solid spot because they have one of the best head glitches for this area, as well as having to cover it rotating under bridge, because no one wants to leave their high ground. Once you have that high ground, especially one of those train carts, no one wants to rotate down. As we're going to go ahead and see G7 Dank go ahead and put some shots down. But they're going to go ahead and decide to bubble here, Lazarus, as they are actually fully committing to this fight as they're shielding up, getting ready for another team. They committed and then backed up because no one wants to go down first because they know there's plenty of teams around there looking for and waiting for the bubble to go down. They're going ahead and put some shots as G7 goes down to a PK shot. And then just like that, as I said it is a commentator's curse. I will never say it again. As Lazarus goes down the moment I say they had a very advantageous position as Kanaka's Pet takes their spot.
Oh, Kanaka's Pet, they've been having a fantastic game, but now they're at the edge. They're going to have to cross. But you know what's great? They get to stay out of the mayhem. Defensive bombardments dropping here. And you can see 2 brains, 1 controller up top. They've been in that train cart the entire game to move. That's just big brain right there. And I guess they've got 2 of them. So with 1 controller, can they now finish the fight? Sentinels getting more and more damage with the EVA 8, picking up more KP themselves. Retzi still has the Kraber. We're not quite sure, but Krusty seems to be doing well. Gibraltar, Caustic, and Valk. Very defensive lineup, but Force what you can see, he's got a Kraber as well. Retzi, he hits that 145. Things are starting to heat up. Another Colat from Retzi. Can he finish him off here? Already 1 is down. That's KP waiting for him, but can they push?
That's going to be a very tough position because they have the crates right now currently, and they're safe around from both teams. But And they're going to, yes, they go down, they do get the res, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to commit to it. That's a very, very difficult push to try to take right there, especially when there are still 4 other teams looking right at you, waiting for someone to go right in the middle. It's another one of those moments that I wish my ranked teammates would understand. Just because someone goes down, you do not have to lose your positioning and go across the map and then die, and then cost me the game. I was almost diamonds. I was almost diamonds.
Sounds like we're starting to get a little personal here, and, you know, we can do some counseling about that later, B. But, you know, I love the way that these teams are still taking this to every single angle they can. No one has wanted to commit yet, because once you do, it's like dominoes. They start falling. Everyone starts to get in it, and sharks smell blood in the water. And best believe, Retzi, Force What, these players with Krabers in their hands, they are sharks, alpha predators, prehistoric. And will they make history? If they can keep this up, it certainly will be a possibility to Presley. They know where they are, and if they hear the sound of the revive, I think that's what he's worried about. Retzi could push, but he doesn't want to risk it all. They're so close. Crust still up, Sinnox down as well, so it's really a 2v1 versus a 1v1. They get the KP, defensive bombardment goes down, and now it's going to start to get interesting.
This is where we can see Sentinel's pick on Caustic is really going to start excelling. While he does not have ult, he does have those barrels, and he goes down immediately to, as soon as I say something, goes down immediately to a Sentinel, but he's unable to confirm the kill because another team comes in and cleans him up, and now they go ahead, and this Caustic now is coming over here, and unfortunately he's going to die as soon as I say something. And right here, now they're just, as Gibby Bubbles used as the last Gibby, Kanaka's Pets is really showcasing. They know what rotation is. They know how, when and where to pick their fights. As they're going to go ahead and commit to this fight.
And this is where Kanaka's Pets can put a great game, turn it into an amazing game. There's a solo up top, one player already down there. Octane trying to hold it. This could be the evidence of the jump pad being worth it after all. Kanaka's Pets fighting down below, the R01. It's hitting headshots, but will it hit these shots? Wingman in the hands of Fury Sucks, My Little Pony. Are they going to come out and do it? Will he be able to clutch Fury? Oh, he does it, and he clutches as a solo and takes game 1. In the North American ALGS Championships.
Little Phony, ESA Black, Kanaka's Pets, who are the teams that have kind of been on the outside looking in when we're talking about, you know, top 20 teams. These teams are
later on in the show.